But I mean, what originally got you into this? I mean, it's not, most people don't wake
Yeah.
up in the morning and they're like, I want to be a hypnotist.
No, I woke up and I wanted to be a professional wrestler and work for the WWE, but I realized I wasn't big enough and I wasn't athletic enough. So I'm like, to hell with that, better find another thing. Then I wanted to be a shock jock, but I realized I could never be better than Howard Stern, and Howard Stern's not Howard Stern anymore. So I couldn't do that. And that's not that popular in the UK. So I figured hypnotism. That's kind of true. But when I was a young kid, so up to the age of 17, I had about every problem you can imagine, Matt. The only problems I didn't have is I wasn't addicted to, well, I was addicted to sugar, if I'm honest with you, but I wasn't addicted to any illicit substances, and I wasn't sexually abused. Other than that, I pretty much had every kind of problem you could imagine. In the 90s, I had this thing called anxiety. It was before it was a trendy thing to have, and everyone had anxiety. We didn't even have the word anxiety. It was like, yo, you're just depressed. You're just antisocial. No, I was fucking anxious. Um, so I had every kind of problem you can imagine. By the age of 17, I tried to top myself. That's UK speak for kill myself twice, and it didn't work. And after the second time, I'm like, I better start to learn to live fucking life now and find my way through. Now, I'd spent close to, what was it, 7, 8 to 10 years in family therapy because my parents figured that, I had a lot of issues and stuff. And that didn't help me. I had child therapy, counseling psychotherapist. That didn't help me. I was in mental houses. That didn't help me. They tried to put me on medication, but I was anti-medication. So I used to do magic. So they'd give me the antidepressant pills, and I would use the sleight of hand. I'd palm it, put it down, and they'd figure that I took the antidepressant. Then I would sell it to other patients on the wards. That's how I made my money for cheap food and McDonald's when I was 17 in the mental hospital. So needless to say, I had a lot of fucking problems, and nothing helped me. Nothing helped me. And when it didn't work, I was even unsuccessful in trying to kill myself. And when that didn't work, I'm like, all right, how am I going to make this shit work life? Because no one's coming to save me. I was waiting, right? Or maybe this person on a fucking unicorn would come and extend their hand and save me, but they weren't coming. It weren't my mum. It weren't my dad. It weren't the girl that I was dating. It wasn't my non-existent friends. It wasn't some evangelical guy on TV. It wasn't Tony Robbins. It wasn't Howard Stern. It wasn't Vince McMahon. It wasn't Hulk Hogan. It wasn't even Stone Cold Steve Austin. So I better find a way. So we had this show in England back in the mid-90s. This is about when I'm 16, 17. Give away my age there, and it's called The Hypnotic World of Paul McKenna. Now, if anyone knows anything about hypnosis, even lay people, they've heard of a guy called Paul McKenna, best-selling author in the UK, British hypnotist, and he would do a show every Monday night, primetime TV, about 8 p.m. on our version of NBC, if you were ITV. And it was a dog and pony show. And what I mean by that is if you've ever gone to a hypnosis show and the hypnotist says, oh, when you sit on that seat, it's going to feel like a hot poker's up your ass and you're going to jump up. It was a kind of show that was dragged out for 30 minutes every week. It's an entertainment show, right?
Right.
Now, I'm a kid and the internet had just started at that point, right? So not a lot of exposure. And because I'm a kid and I only had 4 channels in the UK at that point, I'm thinking if I'm watching it on TV and it's not a movie or a sitcom, this shit must be real. So my belief filter was like, Phil, when it's on TV, this stuff must be real. And if he can make that one think she's Madonna, and that one thinks they're Michael Jackson, and that one think they're sitting on a hot poker and it's just a chair, maybe this stuff would work for me. But with my depression, with my anxiety, with my obesity, with my agoraphobia. So we had this newspaper in England called the News of the World. It was owned by Rupert Murdoch, right? And it's our biggest newspaper. And on a Sunday, and there was a little ad at the back of it. And the ad was to get one of Paul McKenna's audio cassettes. It's called Supreme Self-Confidence. And it was a generic, one-size-fits-all audio cassette. Not an MP3, not a download, not even a CD. We're talking about 1995 here, old school. And it was, what was it? It was about £11, 10.99. It's about $20 US. Now, you had to write away for a check. I was too young to have a check. So I gave my sister my money, and she wrote a check. And it said, it takes 21 days to arrive. So I'm eagerly awaiting this, right? 21 days. It's going to change my life. And it came, right? I was sitting near the door every day for that package to come, and it came, and I vigorously ate it up. I listened to it every day. Side A was what hypnosis is, what hypnosis isn't. Side B was the actual hypnosis for supreme self-confidence. And because I had total belief this was going to work, it had to work because nothing else did to fucking find a way through life. I ate it up and I just acted as if it was real. And that fucking audio cassette, that generic, didn't know nothing about me, generalizations all the way through it. It changed my life more than everything else that I tried to help myself before that. So then I was sort of 16, 17, I'm 43 now. So then I spent the next 25 some odd years spending way too much money, traveling the world, learning from people who do this shit for real, learning what works, learn what doesn't work. Because I'm like, if a generic cassette can do this, if I learned this for real, how people really work inside their brain, that's my purpose of being here, because I can't be a wrestler. So then that's what I did. And here I am.